I'm the Ranki Ramajuraka. Do you ever get the feeling that you're really not present in your life? I used to get that feeling. I used to worry about it, in fact. Felt like I wasn't really living my life. Felt like I wasn't really there. Wasn't really present in my life. And I would look back through the years and think, I seem to have been missing in my life. Some part of me just wasn't really there to experience it. It troubled me. There are varying degrees of this not really feeling present. And this, the degree to which this might be something you notice, at least now that I've said it, could differ from point to point in your life, from person to person. It's kind of annoying if you think about it, if you notice that maybe you don't feel totally present in your life. It's a little troubling. I mean, what? How great can life be if you don't really feel like you're part of it, part of your own life, to some extent? What can you do about that? Well, there are various things you can do about it. One of them is this. Focus on what you're doing. Get your attention trained to focus on what you're doing when you're doing it. Elsewhere here in this playlist, I've talked about do and undo attention. If while you're doing something, you're thinking about something different, something from the past, something happening somewhere else, or something that didn't even happen yet, then you're not really present mentally in what you're currently doing. This has a lot to do with your feeling of being present in your life. There's a lot to do with it. So, your number one due attention object is always what you're doing right now. As I said elsewhere in the do and undo attention video here in this playlist. Things from the past, put aside a time to think about them if there's something requiring your due attention that has to do with the past. Otherwise, it's just a memory, and you don't really need to think about it. Especially not while you're doing something else. I mean, if you're going to bring up something from the past and think about it for some good reason, or you need to think about something about the future, do some planning or whatever, put aside a time for those things so that you can give them their due attention. I talked about that elsewhere here. The point now is focus on what you're doing. Keep honing your focus back in on what you're doing. Use what you're doing as an attention training technique, if that'll help. Then the better you get with your control over attention, the more you can apply it to what you're currently doing. Even if what you're currently doing is thinking about plans for the future. But make the time special for that. So you can give it its due attention. Always just focus on what you're doing. Whether it's some physical activity, contemplating the all, the absolute, recalling something that happened in the past to learn something new from it, or making a decision. Focus on those things, whatever they are, when you're doing them. If you happen to be doing something with your hands, focus on that. That's the time to focus on what you're doing with your hands. This way, You'll always be attentively present in your life. I'm Tharanki Ramacharaka, and have a good day.